All right, welcome back to What's New. It's Wellness Wednesday. We do this every Wednesday of our program here. And today we're talking about our mental health. And it is tied to sunlight and how much of it we get. And in about 10 days, we're going to turn our clocks back an hour, which means it's going to be getting dark a lot sooner. And the shortening of the days can have a negative effect on us. It is known as seasonal affective disorder, or SAD. See what we did there,
Yes,
Bets?
it is.
So to help us navigate through these dark times, we've brought on Dr. Patrick Runnels, who is a psychiatrist at University Hospitals. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us. This is a real thing. I mean, I know it is for me, because every fall and into the winter, I get the blues. So what is this? How does it affect us? And is there anything we can do about it?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on. And the first thing to talk about and to make sure people are aware of is seasonal affective disorder itself is a form of depression. And that's kind of the extreme end of what happens when you kind of get down about the weather and the lack of light and the cloudiness. Yeah. But everyone experiences difficulties when the days get shorter and they have less exposure to light and they're cooped up, and all of those things start to pile up. And in Cleveland in particular, we know the cloud cover is really intense. It's actually one of the highest cloud cover places in the country. Yeah. So,
what can people do to stay motivated, stay up, stay happy, stay positive?
So I talk about four things. The first is getting out of the house and outdoors. Getting outdoors in cold weather is really important. A lot of what gets us kind of down in the winter is, when the light's short, is feeling like we can't go do the things we like to do. You know, a quote that a number of native Clevelanders told me about was, there's not bad weather, there's just bad clothing. So anything you can do to get out and figure out how to prepare yourself to get outdoors is really great. The second thing is travel. So finding ways, even if it's local travel, to go actually to places and do things. Again, about getting out of that house. And travel is important, not just because it's good to get out, but planning for travel, even if it's like a trip to, just an afternoon trip with the kids to fun and stuff or something like that. That kind of thing can actually go a long way to helping everybody feel excited about what's going on. The third thing I recommend is exercise. Cannot underestimate how much people get out and do stuff in the summer and then don't do it in the winter. Find ways in the winter to get healthy, get active, whether that's going outdoors and doing it or figuring out how to exercise within your house. That can be really, really huge. And then the last piece for me is always socialization. Yeah. So any opportunity to socialize with people, we tend to kind of coop up and then forget to talk with people. I hear in my neighborhood all the time, parents come out in the spring and say, oh, there you are, I haven't seen you in forever. Those things are things we ought to be planning for and making sure don't happen. If you can get yourself away from that social isolation, you'll be in a good space.
Very nice. Now, we know it's coming. Yeah. Like you said, it's a little over a week away, close to 10 days. Is there anything that we can start to do now so the sudden change doesn't knock us off our feet when it finally happens? Because I know that first day sunset hits me like a ton of bricks. Yeah. What can we do to get ready for it?
So really importantly, getting yourself organized for that time. So don't sit there and wait for it to happen. Start now, planning, getting things in your calendar, figuring out where in your house you can go to do the things that you're going to want to do, figure out the places you want to go, talk with people. You know, something people don't realize, Cleveland's got the metro parks and the Northeast Ohio has the metro parks that are spectacular in the winter as well as the summer. So you could go to the metro parks, you could plan times to do, and actually pick a buddy to go to and experience those with on a regular basis. If you start now, that'll help a whole lot. Getting in the space where you're isolated and you haven't thought about it and haven't planned for anything, that's where people get stuck, and then they get paralyzed, and then by that time they go through months and just start to feel down.
And if people are still down in the dumps after trying the exercise and all this stuff, is that when it's time to talk to somebody?
Yeah, so you know, seasonal affective disorder is a depressive disorder. Depression is feeling a depression for more than 2 weeks, paired with loss of interest in things you used to like, difficulty sleeping, poor concentration, and even in more extreme scenarios, feelings like you don't want to be here anymore and that you might want to hurt yourself. If any of those things are popping up and lasting for a really long time, check in with anybody, a friend, to make sure that they're reflecting back to you they're having trouble, or even you know, getting into any professional. You can start with your primary care provider if you feel like you might be depressed and this might be an issue.
Yeah, definitely don't let it linger. Get ahead of it.
Exactly.
That's definitely a good thing. Dr. Patrick Runnels from UH, thank you so much.
Pleasure being here. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah.